What's good, my boy?
What's going on, dude? I had to make sure it was really you.
I know the period in my name. We're trying to get that switched because, like, it kind of looks like a fan page, the JVCKJ, but we're working on it. We're working on snatching that account up, the one without the period.
You're working on a lot these days, man. Congratulations on the new single.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
How's it feel now, like, 5 or 6 days out, it's out in the world, just releasing music as a solo and just releasing any sort of music is like nerve-wracking, right? How does it feel just now kind of being in the afterglow?
Yeah, man, definitely was nerve-wracking because I'm like, this is my first, I guess, my first swing at solo music. And so I knew the song was a big song. I knew the song was a great record, and I personally loved it. That's always my first and foremost indicator of if I want to put something out. Like, I have to love the song, And so I wasn't really nervous about the reaction because I knew people would like the song, but it was just more so about like where we go from here, you know what I'm saying? And we have so much in the stash box, but the fans showed out. They've been streaming it like crazy. They've been running up the views on the video, and they've just really been showing out and showing so much love, and I appreciate their support so much. So, anybody who's in here who's watching, thank you for going hard for me. And we don't have a fandom name yet, you know what I'm saying? So I heard you guys trying to come up with some of them in there, Jack Day Nation. But yeah, I just really appreciate all the support so far, and it's been a very very fun week of promo and just dropping the merch and just everything, man. It's just been a whirlwind of excitement for sure.
Yeah, congratulations, dude. All your own this time. It's really rad. All right, so if you don't know the concept of these IG Lives, they're called Fandemics, and basically all the questions come from your fans. And I'm going to be honest. I think your fans have the best questions. We've done these all quarantine long. These are some great questions. So I'm going to get right to them. At Star Gwirl, who was the first person you let listen to the new song?
The first person I let listen to the new song?
Like outside the studio.
Yeah, I think it was my buddy Brant. I think I finished my verses up, and I think I played it for my buddy Brant. I was picking him up, or maybe I was dropping him off. I don't know why, but my buddy Brant, he's from Arizona, from Scottsdale. He was the first one I played it for. I remember he was in my car, and yeah, he was the first person who laid ears on it. But then after that, it's like the floodgates open. I'm the kind of guy, like, some people don't like to play their new music for people, and they want to keep it a secret and shit. Like, but dude, I just absolutely play it for everybody and anybody. And people will ask me to send it to them, and I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll send you the bounce, even though my manager's like, bro, chill, like, it's gonna get leaked. I just don't care. I want the world to hear. I'm so eager, So, but yeah, my buddy Brant was the very first person.
Was it him by happenstance, or is he somebody you continuously go to because you just like his ear, or?
I mean, I definitely respect his opinion. We have a lot of like overlapping musical tastes. And like, he's not a musician himself, but like, he puts me onto a lot of new artists, especially in the hip hop world. And so I definitely like, take what he says with a grain of salt, and like really like, appreciate his input. And so, yeah, he just happened to be the first person I saw though after the session. So I think that's the main reason.
That's right. All right, let's get to Jasmine Tafoya. What do you plan on dressing up as this Halloween? Obviously, it's probably going to be a crazy Halloween with everything going on, but if you were to dress up, or if you are going to dress up, what are you planning on? Wow,
that's a good question, Jasmine. I've been thinking about it. I did this TikTok earlier this year where there was this trend going around where it's like, who do you look like, your celebrity lookalikes or whatever. And so we had King Joffrey. We had, who did we have? We had Chicken Little. When I wear my glasses, everyone calls me Chicken Little for some reason. Stuart Little, the mouse. I mean, that's an option. Shit. I want to do something maybe with G too, like Mario and Luigi, or like Starsky and Hutch, because he's a brunette and I'm a blonde.
Yeah, dude.
We've been talking about doing Starsky and Hutch for a while. We just didn't have enough time last year because we thought of it too late. But I like doing group costumes with my boys and stuff too. But honestly, I'm still undecided. There's a lot of options. I just threw like 12 out at you, but yeah, I'm gonna figure it out when that time comes. You feel me? Who knows? Are we even gonna be able to go trick or treating? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Even though
you go door to door in your house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, this comes from Kaya Stevens, and she says, if you had to choose the day of the week, I don't know what the heck she's talking about, dude, but maybe you do. If you had to choose the day of the week that smells the best, what month is the flavor?
Well, I would say March for starters. Definitely March. And Kaya, I know Kaya. She's just trying to give me a loaded question that's impossible to answer. She likes messing with me.
Okay.
But I think, well, what's the flavor? What's the month of the flavor?
Yeah. If you had to choose the day of the week that smells the best, what month is the flavor?
Okay, I think it would be a Sunday in March, and the flavor would be like a nice lavender just throughout the air. You know, I don't even know if that's a possible question to answer, but that's my best swing at it.
I think you just invented it, bro.
Lavender Tuesday March, bam. That's all you get.
All right, let's get to Jenny or Ilana. And how long do you plan on staying solo and independent? She says, I hope forever. But do you have any plans there? Are you taking it day by day?
I mean, I don't see myself. I love having like just control of everything, man. Like it's like it. It was definitely kind of a stressful time where we were sometimes making songs that we weren't even necessarily fans of, and like that's just not what music's about to me. And yeah, I mean, I think everything. I'm really grateful for my whole journey up to date, and but now it's like I feel like I'm just like a butterfly hatching out of his cocoon. You know, I feel like I get the final say on everything and the creative, and I get to pick who I want to direct my videos, and it's honestly such a breath of fresh air. And just having this team around me, that's, you know, we have a distributor, but it feels so independent, and it feels like so just kind of like roots up, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want it to be. I want everyone who's part of this family to like really just be on board with the vision. I don't want the vision to be switching like here and there and like trying new things. Like I have this vision, this grand vision, and it's this whole series of projects I'm unveiling over the next year and a half probably. And to answer your question though, I mean, me and G we're making music like every day too. So I mean, there's no reason why Jack and Jack can't drop stuff while we're dropping our solo stuff. We just want to kind of let our solo chapters breathe for a little bit before we put our next Jack and Jack stuff out. But I mean, I'm literally in his room right now. He's at a cryotherapy chamber right now with one of his boys. But I'm literally in his room right now, and like we literally see each other every day. And our fans were stressing for a while, saying, "Oh, is Jack and Jack over forever?" But it's like, dude, that couldn't even happen. We're best friends, you know, before all this shit. And so we have a lot of stuff in the works. And right now we're focusing on our solo chapters, and I'm excited because G has something special coming out too any day now. I don't want to give away anything. He hasn't announced it yet. But yeah, essentially it's been a very, I mean, maybe if the deal was right, I could see myself where I have full creative control going back to a label. But as of right now, I really just want to show people what I can do and like really accentuate upon my vision with the close-knit team I have around me. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess.
You know, I'm just curious to ask, like, you know, from what is the key going from, you know, a small town in Nebraska with your best friend to a city as big and as fast and as crazy as LA can get, and being so young and you know, maybe a comparison to a fan watching this, like going away to college, right? It's tough to stay in touch and to stay close and maintain those friendships that are so important. What's been the key for you and Jack?
Well, I mean, I think each other was huge, just because the fact that like we had somebody out here in the city with us that was from our hometown, we've known our whole lives. If they try to change up or like become a different person, it's like, bro, I knew you when you were 7 years old, like pissing your pants. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't. Yeah. So we definitely helped keep each other, I guess, grounded out here. But honestly, our first couple of years out here, we got very lazy. We thought the world was just like, you know, ours, and we thought we didn't have to like, you know, keep up with certain content. And like we definitely got lazy, and we're just going out all the time and just like drinking and just partying, and we thought like, you know, like our lives were already solidified, which I think it's kind of that smoke and mirrors effect that LA gives you when you first come out. You're surrounded by all these people. But eventually we realized, and we got kind of burnt out of that phase. We realized, yo, like that's not what this city's about. You know, we got to take advantage of this city, and it can either make or break you. So we really put our best foot forwards in our best feet forward, should I say, because there's two of us, in terms of making content every day, like locking down in the studio. And so the last 2 or 3 years have been like really grind mode, work mode, focused, and less in that party phase. But I think we had to go through that to figure out like, you know, what we really need to do as individuals and as a group, you know.
Yeah. Was there like a big wake up moment, or was there like a turning point where you go, whoa, like we've lost our path, we've lost our track, we got to get back on this thing?
I don't know if it was like a moment or just like a time period, you know, more so. But definitely, we even wrote a song about this called Pose on one of our recent projects. And we wrote it from a girl's perspective, but it was just about this girl getting caught up in the LA scene and like going out every night. And like, you know, she used to go to church and now she's going to One Oak instead. And it's like, you know, just, you know, everybody goes through that shit. And sometimes you got to find yourself to lose yourself. I have a song on the project coming up. I can't give away the name yet, but it's fully about losing yourself in order to find yourself, and how that's so important sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you got to go wade through the fog to see the light. So yeah,
super necessary. All right, let's get back to these fan questions. Regina.jn says, "What is the most difficult thing about writing You Lie?"
You Lie. I would say just like, you know, being open and honest with myself and vulnerable, and just like, you know, who cares if the world hears about what happened in my personal life? You know, to me, music is therapy. The microphone is my therapist. And it's like, as cliche as that sounds, it's like it's very real. And I was in the studio with my boy Ryan, who's a great friend of mine, and we always just like talk about life and you know, just what's going on and whatnot. And I kind of view him as like, you know, a guy who helps me through stuff in the studio sometimes and helps me get the confidence to like really just, you know, expose myself, and not expose myself in a bad way. I think, you know, real life experience is good for people to hear because then they can relate. But the hardest part to me was I don't know, man. It kind of came pretty naturally once we had the hook set in stone. It was like it just became a storytelling. Like, you know, I wanted to kind of emulate like a Stand by Eminem kind of vibe where there's this haunting melody and this haunting female singing the hook, and then bam, it drops into these kind of hard storytelling, like really emotional verses. And I think we captured that vibe like really well, and it came pretty seamlessly after that. You know, once I have a vision of where I want the verse to go, usually it doesn't take too long. Usually my stream of consciousness will just help get it done pretty quickly. So hardest part though was just being open, honest, vulnerable, and just, you know, really just letting myself talk about my real life experiences.
Right.
Not holding back.
It's funny you mentioned Stan, because you guys both do, like, I call them like alley-oops at the end of the verse, right? Where you at the end of your verses lead right into the chorus. And I love that, totally. Man. It's one of my favorite things in hip hop or just music in general. When it's that seamless, it's so good.
Yeah, bro. That end of that first verse, I think I said like, yeah, it's crazy how I used to be in love, and then it goes back into the hook. It's like I set her up. Yeah, I love those alley-oops.
So smooth.
That's a great phrase for that. I'm gonna start calling that alley-oops now.
Yeah. All right, a couple more questions here. What is your favorite lyric? This comes from Infinite Jacks, and they say, what is your favorite lyric from You Lie, and why? Anything come to mind?
I love the opening lyric of verse 2, where it says, "You say I lied, well you lied too. When I was on the road in Europe, you had to slide through. Won't put them on blast." But it's like I reversed like a name, and it's now the fans are all gonna go unreverse it and stuff and try and expose me probably. But to me, it was super dope because it was just like such a unique bar. I reversed the dude's name, and then I said won't put him on blast because I obviously reversed it. It's like I don't want to expose like everybody. I don't want to name drop. But I don't even know if I said the dude's real name. I might have just said like a filler name and just reversed it. So either way, that bar I love just because of the creativity. And then I love the last part of the second verse where it was the melodic part was my other half times too. I thought you would have won. Should have never gave you. So that was like I'm like a huge like math kid. I love math so much. And I was like, my other half times 2, like 2 halves make 1. My other half times 2, I thought you were the one. And I was like, oh, that's like a cool like little math pun in the mix too. And it's on this beautiful melodic part. But yeah, man, those are 2 of my favorites. I could probably talk about every bar and why I like it.
Well, you've always. I remember I met you for the first time when I was at Billboard, and this is like 2017,
that's right.
back in the day. And you were such an M fan, and you were such an appreciator of his wordplay. And you can see that manifest now in your solo independent stuff, because you can actually like tap into that, you know, style of lyricism that may not have been pop enough or whatever they were having you do before.
No, absolutely.
So it's cool to see that flourish, you know?
Yeah, it's very. I love just the fact that I can, you know, I got a couple songs on this upcoming project where there's like some long ass verses on there. Like the You Lie ones were decently long. There's this one record called Patience. Oh, shit, whatever. I said it. There's this one record called Patience coming out, and it's like the dopest record to me because it's about how patience can make or break an artist. And there's 2 like 64, maybe 72 bar verses, both the verses. And to me, it's almost like a blueprint about how patience can make or break an artist. And it's a kind of like a dual perspective record, and it's one of the coolest records I've ever heard or made in a while. And so, yeah, I'm stoked for the fans to hear that one. It's not going to be like a radio push because it's so hip hop. It's so like. You know, but it's like once the fans see the video that we were gonna make with it, it's like, oh my god, it's like on some like Joyner Lucas type shit where it's like so conceptual that it's like it's just gonna blow your mind. You can't like not respect it even if you're not vibing to the record, so to speak. But yeah, I love just the open-endedness and the fact that, you know, I can really draw from my inspirations now and just dive into this world and just like, you know, there's no rules now. It's great.
Yeah. Well, it's cool for the fans to appreciate too, and I'm sure you've conveyed this to them on your own channels, but just when an artist goes independent, like you're going to get to know that artist better than they've ever known you, because you know, the reality is that, like you even alluded to, sometimes you have to put out stuff, you got to play the game sometimes.
Compromise, yeah, totally, bro.
Yeah, and now it's just totally uncompromised, and if you want to put out a Joyner Lucas style rap song along with a radio-friendly pop song, you can do that, and it's going to be the most authentic you.
Totally, bro. And I'm excited to just juxtapose like throughout this whole project and just show the versatility that I can bring, because like not any given record really sounds like another. They all like are held together by my tone. You know, I like to think my voice and my tone is the glue to the whole project. But it showcases like, you know, somebody like X who passed away recently. Like he was so versatile in the way he would make like some really in your face like hype shit, and then transition into a slow, just like singing ballad with just like piano. And I'm like, yeah, like
Right.
why put yourself in a box as an artist? You know, that only gives you a certain window of success, and only if you can't innovate, if you can't push the mold, it's like, you know, you can't really move forward as an artist. You can't push yourself, and people will forget about you. You'll just be like an artist who stood in this moment in time, as opposed to somebody who has true longevity and can keep changing and, you know, keep, I guess, adapting to the current world of music.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, couple more, and then we're gonna let you off the hook here, Jack. This comes from Johnson Rhythms. What is one message you would want to give your fans?
Ooh, one message I would want to give my fans. That's a tough one because, I mean, there's a lot of things that I like to preach and whatnot. One message I would like to give my fans. The biggest message is just, to me, it's something that I've really been discovering lately. Is that just, you know, your destiny is really in your own hands. You don't. There might be people that you think you need in life, and you know, like things that you think you need, and like gatekeepers to whatever it is, the job you want to pursue or the career path you want to pursue, and sometimes there are, but if you work hard enough at what you want to do and you really put your best foot forward, and like self-belief has to drive everything you do. You can't have somebody hyping you up and saying, oh, this is what you should do, and then you do it because for their sake. It's like, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to actually believe in what you're doing. And if people are trying to shoot your shit down and just, you know, tell you that you can't, and you got it, your self-belief has to be bigger than their naysaying, their neglect, so to speak. And so the biggest thing is, you know, yeah, like I said, your destiny is really in your own hands. Take the reins of your own life, and don't let people just take you away from your path. Because if there's a path that you want to go down and like people are trying to just like stray you off, people will try to stray you off that no matter what. And so, yeah, to me, it's just a matter of taking your life by the reins and letting your self-belief really drive you, because that's what's going to take you the furthest in life, is you believing in yourself. Nobody will believe in you until you believe in yourself. I promise that.
Yeah. If you want change, you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean?
100%. It's got to start with you, straight up.
All right, final question, and I think this is like a nice one to just wrap up our chat about the new music. This comes from Bekisha Gunn, and what made you decide to pick this song, You Lie, as your first release?
You Lie, well, honestly, I thought, because I had this vision of doing this piano intro for the video the entire time, and I wanted to showcase like every aspect of what I could do, and I wanted it to be like a big song, something that really caught people's ears. Wasn't necessarily just like a lo-fi hip hop, like 120 bars, like no hook type record. And so You Lie, to me, I think it really showcased, you know, with the piano intro in the video, along with the two hip hop verses, then the melodic part at the end, and then I'm doing the harmonies and the final hook. I think it gave people, fans, whether old or new, or people who are just discovering me, I think it gave them a full scope of what I can do, a full range of, you know, my abilities, and especially in the video. And so to me, yeah, it really showcased like everything I can bring to the table. And then there's other songs that, you know, are more like one track state of mind. And so, yeah, this one just felt like it had a conglomeration of everything that I encompass as an artist. And so for that reason, I wanted it to be my first showcase to the world.
It's like the appetizer sampler at the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. I got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Yeah, exactly, bro.
Totally. Well, Jack, you're always the man, dude. And I always, what I always remembered about being around you back then was your passion. You were so enthusiastic about every question and whatever you were talking about at the time. And I'm glad to see that hasn't faded at all, dude. I wish you the best of luck.
Hey, well, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on, and to everyone who tuned in, we appreciate you. A lot of stuff around the corner, all right?
Awesome. Peace, dude.
All right, brother. You have a good one. Talk soon.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications from radio.com. While you're at it, why don't you check out some of our other great videos.